Hey guys! So I recently shared how I lost the baby weight and I got a lot of questions about my feelings, my thoughts on intermittent fasting, so I thought I'd do a full video dedicated to it. So what is intermittent fasting? It's an eating schedule. There are a few different protocols. Some people will eat normal 5 days a week and then they will fast the other 2. Some people will alternate what day they fast and what time they eat. Other people will just do a eating window, which is what I practice. A popular window is a 16-8 split, meaning you fast for 16 hours and then you eat during an 8-hour window. An example of what this might look like is you stop eating at 8 p.m. and you do not start eating until noon the next day. So if you're doing intermittent fasting, can you just eat whatever you want? Well, of course you can always eat whatever you want. But if you're intermittent fasting for health reasons and you want to lose fat, then I am going to recommend no, you can't eat whatever you want. If you're gonna practice intermittent fasting, you're gonna see results if you focus on whole food nutrition, things like fruits, vegetables, lean protein, quinoa, brown rice, sweet potatoes, good carbs. I'm not opposed to bread. I like a good whole wheat sourdough, nut butters, beans, legumes, those types of foods. I don't even think you necessarily have to count calories, but if you're not seeing results, you may want to track your macros. I'm not a big fan of counting calories, but you may want to track your macros and make sure that you're getting enough protein. I don't want you to be afraid of carbs, and I also want to make sure that you're eating enough heart-healthy fats. If you are able to do a 16-8 split, great. This is the best timing window, in my opinion, for fat loss results. However, I am not a one-size-fits-all person. I do not think intermittent fasting is for everybody. Some people wake up and they need breakfast, especially when I am pregnant. I need to eat breakfast right away or else I get morning sickness, I feel awful the rest of the day. So intermittent fasting is not for everyone. However, one of my favorite benefits about it, and I didn't know this until I tried, was that I have laser-like focus before I break my fast. I have ADD and a lot of times I have trouble concentrating, and I have found that intermittent fasting helps me concentrate and get my work done. This is an added benefit. Many people do intermittent fasting for fat loss. However, there are many other great benefits, and I'm going to read them because I don't want to miss any. All right, here we go. Cellular repair, decreased insulin levels, which in turn helps you burn fat, increased insulin sensitivity, lower risk of type 2 diabetes, reduced inflammation, improved hormone profile, increased life expectancy, maintenance of skeletal muscle mass. If you try intermittent fasting, I'm going to recommend starting first with a 12-12 split. Fast for 12 hours and then eat during a 12-hour window. What this would look like is you would stop eating at 8 p.m. and then you wouldn't eat breakfast until 8 a.m. If this works for you and you feel good and you don't notice a change in your cycle, or if you're nursing and you don't notice a drop in your supply, then maybe you increase it an hour. So now you're stopping dinner at 8 p.m. and you're not eating breakfast until 9 a.m. See how you feel. How does it change your hormones? Are you able to have that laser-like focus? Are you more hungry? Blah, 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 blah. If that works for you, increase it another hour. Some experts recommend the 14-10 split. Sarah Haley, who is one of my friends here on YouTube and Instagram, she thinks that the 14-10 split is the most ideal for women, mainly because it is going to have the smallest effect hormonally on us. I am a coach for the faster way to fat loss, and we recommend the 16-8 split. For those of you that are nursing, I recommend a 15-9 or the 14-10. So I often am doing the 15-9 split. Occasionally I'll do the 14-10 if I stop eating a little bit later than planned. So should you try intermittent fasting? Many of you probably started watching this with that question in mind. So you can do intermittent fasting if you're pregnant, if you're nursing. However, I'm going to recommend waiting until you have established your milk supply. I did not start until I was 6 months postpartum and I introduced solid foods to Connor. So I'm going to recommend waiting until then. You of course can do it sooner, but we don't want to decrease our calories too much or it will affect your milk supply. A lot of people notice results when they do intermittent fasting. Because you have a shorter eating window, you tend to eat less calories. As a faster way to fat loss coach, we actually don't decrease our calories that much. You're still eating, the number of calories that you would be eating throughout the day on a regular program. We're just eating them in a shorter amount of window. So for example, I eat 1,800 calories, 18 to 1,900 calories. And for me, that allows my milk supply to maintain where it is, but yet I was also able to see results, lose fat where I wanted it, and feel confident and comfortable in my own skin. Doing intermittent fasting allows your body to be at digestive rest. And that is when we are able to see some of the other health benefits. But when it comes to fat burning, once we deplete our glycogen stores, which basically when we eat carbohydrates, our body relies on those carbohydrates for energy. Once we deplete those, then we're able to tap into our fat stores. And that's where we lose the inches. So if you're looking for an alternative plan, an alternative program, and what you've been doing isn't working, intermittent fasting might be something that you want to try, and you're never going to know if you can do it if you don't try. As I mentioned earlier in the video, start with a 12-12. If that works, bump it up an hour. If that works, bump it up an hour. If you want to keep it at a bare minimum, aim for that 14-10 split. You're fasting for 14 hours and you're eating during a 10-hour window. If you want more information on all of this stuff, I do have a blog post. I don't want to lose all of you watching this video, but my favorite benefits from it are the laser focus before I break my fast, the ability to kind of eat what I want within my window. I focus on whole food nutrition. I'm not going to McDonald's. That's not my style. For me, a treat is a cookie flour, which is made with whole wheat flour, or going to, Sweet Green and splurging on one of the higher calorie, higher fat meals. I'm not a fast food person. I don't really like junk food. So I pretty much can eat whatever I want, not counting calories, while doing intermittent fasting and still seeing results. Some of you may not have that easily of a success, and for those of you, I'm going to recommend that you do track your macros until you're more in tune with your hunger and what you eat. If you have any other questions, let me know down below, and I'll see you guys soon. Oh, and if you're curious about joining my next Faster Way to Fat Loss round, it is not until July 13th, but you can sign up now.